When a powerhouse falters and the underdog bites. In front of a home crowd expecting dominance, the Cowboys arrived with swagger, only to have the Cardinals clip their wings. It wasn't simply a loss. It was a seismic shift in perception, a juggernaut offense held in check, a defense that seemed unprepared for the challenge, and a franchise forced to confront hard truths about its roster and direction. The Cowboys, coming off recent scoring explosions, entered this game averaging about 30.8 points per outing. The Cardinals, reeling from a 5-game losing streak, were missing their usual starter Kyler Murray and looked fragile on paper. But the script flipped. On Monday night in Arlington, Texas, Arizona rediscovered spark, while Dallas responded with frustration and indecision. Key moments that swung the tide. Early promise for Dallas. The Cowboys struck early with a compelling drive from their opening possession, moving from their own 34 to inside Arizona's 10 in 6 plays. But the momentum stalled. On 4th and goal, they failed to convert, handing the Cardinals a lifeline. Arizona's answer. The Cardinals didn't just breathe a sigh of relief. They attacked. Veteran quarterback Jacoby Brissett, filling in for Murray, went 21 of 31 for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns, adding precision and calm to a storm of question marks. Even more telling, wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. had a breakout performance, hauling in 7 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown, his personal best in receptions to date. Dallas self-inflicted wounds. While Arizona capitalized, Dallas flailed. 2 fumbles, one by Jake Ferguson, another by RB Javonte Williams. A failed 68-yard field goal attempt that could have narrowed the gap earlier. Multiple failed 4th down attempts deep in Arizona territory. The decisive stretch. After Dallas scored a block punt recovery TD to make it 10-7, Arizona responded decisively. In the first 3 plays of the second half, the Cardinals ripped off chunk gains, including a 50-yard catch and run by Michael Wilson, and were on their way. From there, the Cowboys never truly recovered. What it means for each team. For the Cardinals, the win ends a dispiriting 5-game skid. Brissett's performance raises the question, are the Cardinals ready to move past Murray in the short term? The coaching staff hedged, but the moment was his. The Guardian. The offense showed flashes of consistency and big playability, particularly through Harrison Jr. and McBride. The defense, however, still has questions. Earlier losses came by razor-thin margins. The challenge is sustaining the momentum. For the Cowboys, this suddenly feels like a full-blown crisis rather than a blip. Their record now sits at 3-5-1, the worst under their current regime at this point. The Sun, their vaunted offense, averaging over 30 points per game, managed only 10 offensive points here, the other TD coming via special teams. The defense, once a strength, now appears wobbly. Analysts, including Troy Aikman, openly questioned whether a single trade can fix systemic issues. With the trade deadline looming and roster decisions impending, management faces tough choices: buy for now or sell for later. Tactical breakdown. Offense. Dallas, despite ample talent, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens each had 80 yards receiving. The Cowboys couldn't finish drives. Prescott threw for 250 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. Arizona, Brissett's efficiency plus Harrison Jr.'s big plays allowed them to move the ball and finish drives. Their conversion of 3rd downs was strong. Defense. Stats tell the story. They rank near or at the bottom in multiple defensive categories: yards allowed, touchdowns allowed, sack rate. This season, revenge of the Birds. Arizona showed discipline, especially after the early Cowboys momentum, and forced Dallas into risk situations, including failed 4th downs. They executed. Inside the star. Special teams. A shining spot for Dallas. A blocked punt recovered in the end zone. That play kept them viable, but it wasn't enough. Arizona's offense responded immediately, negating the spark. Roster ripple effects and future questions. Cowboys, what now? With the trade deadline imminent, owner Jerry Jones suggested moves could be coming, yet analysts like Aikman doubt one move will suffice. The defense appears in urgent need of overhaul. Some voices suggest selling veterans for draft capital rather than buying into a shallow championship window. The offense, though talented, needs better situational execution, red zone efficiency, fewer turnovers, better fourth down conversion. The mental side. After this loss, the belief barrier may have been breached. Maintaining confidence will be paramount if they want to salvage the season. Cardinals, the light at the end of the tunnel. The win gives hope that with Brissett, their offense can move efficiently even without Murray. That may create a quarterback standoff down the line. Harrison Jr. is emerging as a weapon, and the team may lean into his development. The defense needs to maintain this level as they face tougher competition. Consistency is the key. Will this mark a turning point? Probably not overnight, but it does provide evidence that the franchise can respond under pressure. Broader implications in the NFL landscape. The Cowboys' fall from grace underscores how thin the margin is in today's NFL. A few miscues, a couple of turnovers, and a team previously expected to contend can quickly find itself on shaky ground. Arizona's win demonstrates the value of resilience. They were underdogs, and they embraced it. Sometimes the psychological edge, confidence sprouting from nothing, is enough to flip momentum. The game illustrates the importance of depth. When a starter, Murray, is out, how well the backup responds, Brissett, can make all the difference. Depth is no longer just a buzzword. It's a necessity. Finally, trades and roster building are under the microscope. For franchises like Dallas, where expectations are high, there's less room for incremental improvement. It's either elite or it's not. Quotes worth remembering. "We've got to figure out how we need to improve in all phases of the game," said Prescott, reflecting the frustration of a team that couldn't find rhythm. Brissett, asked if his performance merited remaining the starter, said, "I'm just trying to go out here and win games and be a good teammate. That's all I can ask for." Troy Aikman didn't mince words post-game. "I don't think one player is going to make a difference for this group." That speaks volumes about the depth of the Cowboys' issues. What to watch next? For the Cowboys, how do they respond in their bye week and in the next game? Do they press the buy button, make a trade now, or start planning a rebuild, sell off and retool? For the Cardinals, will this one spark a turnaround, or is it simply an outlier? Can they build momentum against tougher opponents now that the pressure is off? Key upcoming matchups. Dallas' next Monday night game looms. The level of their response could define the rest of their season. Arizona's schedule will test whether this win was sustainable. Transactions. Watch closely for whether Dallas opens up and pulls the trigger on a move, especially given their defensive woes. This was more than just a 27-17 scoreline. It was a statement. Arizona showed character, coherence, and opportunism. Dallas showed brittleness, inconsistency, and ongoing structural issues. For the Cowboys, a franchise accustomed to winning, this may represent a watershed moment. For the Cardinals, it might just be the spark of something better. The coming weeks will tell whether this is a turning point or merely an aberration.